Hi, welcome to Empty Nest Creations. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, thank you for joining us today. Today I'm starting a series where I'll be making several monogrammed pieces to hang around our house. I just got married recently and have changed my last name. So I want to put some things with our new monogram around the house. So I'm going to be making several different projects, and today we're starting with a simple framed monogram. So if you are interested, stick around. We'll go over the supply list and then we'll get started. Okay, so the supplies you'll need for this framed monogram is some sort of frame, and I'm going to use this clock frame. I like the shape, and it's a little different, so I'm going to use this. You will need some burlap fabric, and I just have a scrap left over from another project. A letter monogram that you can paint. We're going to need some glue sticks and your hot glue gun. Paint color of your choice. I'm using this Waverly white chalk paint. Scissors. Maybe a screwdriver to take the back off the frame, and a paintbrush. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start by taking the back off of our clock. So I'm just going to turn this over, and I'm going to unscrew the back and take this apart, and then we'll see what we have to work with. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the back taken off, and because this was a clock, it doesn't have a replaceable back. So what I did was I went and got some cardboard, and I just cut it to fit the back. And once we get the burlap put on the cardboard, then I'll just attach it to the back so that the burlap will show through here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint the frame, and I'm using, like I said earlier, I'm using this chalk paint. With chalk paint, you don't have to prime your surface. You can just paint over it. So I'm going to put a couple of coats of paint on, and then I'll come back with you. I don't think you guys need to watch me actually do the painting, but I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I get it painted. Okay, so this is finished painting, and I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. I'm going to go ahead and start painting the letter. Pull this paper off. My new last name is Fuller, so I'm just going to paint this, and I'm just going to use the same white paint. This is where you can make your design choices. I've seen them with white frames and black letters, and black frames with white letters. So it's, really a matter of taste at this point, just what you prefer. So I'll paint the entire letter, including the edges, the outside edges, and then let this dry and we'll come back. Okay, so I've just finished painting. It's a little hard to see with the background, but I've painted the F white. So I'm just going to set this aside as well and let it dry for a few minutes. And we're going to work on the burlap and the cardboard. And I'm just going to cover this piece of cardboard with the burlap. I'm just going to glue it on, and then I'll cut it down and trim it to fit. So we're just going to add some glue, and then just press the burlap down on top. Be careful and don't burn yourself, because it will come through the burlap. And I'm just going around the edges. I don't want it to show up in the center. And once we put this on the frame, the pressure of the frame will hold it in as well. Okay, just get that a second to cool, and then we'll flip it over. Get the glue off my fingers. We'll flip it over and trim it. Okay, so let's just flip this over, and then I'm just going to take my scissors and trim around the outside edges of the cardboard. Make sure you can. Move this out of our way. Okay, so now that we have our cardboard covered with the burlap, we're going to set this aside and work on distressing our frame. I forgot to mention that you'll need some sandpaper to just do a little distressing. And you're just going to sand on the edges where you think it would naturally get some wear. And because the paint is so fresh, this is a pretty easy task. It doesn't take much to distress it at all. So I'm just going to go around and distress it until I get it to where I like to look. Okay, so this is what we have right now, and I'm just going to wipe it off, get the sandpaper dust off, and then I'll look at it and decide if this is how I want it. Okay, so this is what we have. Nice and distressed. Some areas are more distressed than others. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with our letter. Just distressing some of the edges. Sorry for the noise that's making. Not a pleasant noise. Okay, and then do the same, just wipe it off. And then that's what that looks like. Slightly distressed. Okay, so now we're going to put all of the pieces together. Starting with the frame, we'll add our burlap cardboard. And I'm just going to glue this on, and then we'll flip it back over and put our letter on. I just want to press and hold that. Give the glue time to cool, and then we'll go ahead and glue these bottom edges on as well. And I'm just going to lift it up and squirt some glue under there, and then press that back down. Give that time to cool. And then we're going to just do this last side. Lift it up, squirt some glue under there, and press it down. Now if you had a normal picture frame, you would just cover the back of your picture frame and then just use the tabs to put it back in. But since this was a clock, we're just going to glue this onto the back. Okay, now I'm going to flip it back over. And so this is what we have. I think it looks nice by itself, but now we're going to add our monogram to the center. Got a glue string there. Get that off. Okay, so you just want to make sure your frame is squared, and you're going to get this right in the middle. And we're going to use some glue again and just glue this down. Another glue stick. And glue all over. Working fairly quickly so that your glue doesn't dry. Set that down in there. And you can always go back once it's cooled off and pull off all the strings. Okay, so there's our finished monogram. And I will get a picture hanger on here and then show you what it looks like hanging on the wall. Okay, so here it is hanging on the wall in the kitchen. It's right under our rooster print. I think it turned out really good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Post a picture if you try something like this or if you've made a framed monogram for your home. Please remember to give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to our channel and remember to hit the bell so you get notifications when we post our next video. Thank you and have a great day.